Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and welcome to This Week in WoW for the week of February 21st. Let's start off as usual with the Mythic Plus affixes for this week. This week we have Fortified, Raging, Quaking, and Thundering. Again, that's Fortified, Raging, Quaking, and Thundering. Only issue I see this week is, some of the mobs when they enrage can be quite, one-shotty. So you will definitely prioritize having, something that can dispel enrages, especially on particular mobs, which could make it a little bit harder for certain classes to get into groups. But it's not like it's a hard week. It's just a week where you need something that can dispel an enrage, for higher keys especially. And so, that becomes of a challenge if you are a class that does not dispel an enrage, right? Or if you're not like, the best tank or the meta DPS or the meta healer or whatever. So that's the only issue I see this week. Other than that, it's a pretty easy week with Fortified and Quaking. There are issues with Quaking in these dungeons that I've talked about, and I think other people have talked about it more in depth. But there are definitely issues with some of the Quaking in some of these dungeons, so maybe we could see some kind of hot fixes there or something. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen, but I mean, we already saw some. But to me, there still are many issues with these tight corridors and mechanics happening at the same time, and then the quaking going off. Feels a bit almost like you have no recourse as a player sometimes. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about what's going on in game this week. Not a ton of stuff to do in game. The weekly event is this arena skirmish. The PvP brawl is packed house. We do have the hatching of the hippogryphs. This is again, they said they're going to expand the holidays. This is one that they could expand on for sure. This is the rare one that's like a 1 day thing where I actually thought it was kind of enjoyable as a player. Just like if I'm not usually like a role player or like someone like that, right? Fantasy person, but like if I immerse myself in the game, I would say that the hippogriff event is actually kind of cool. But again, there's just not enough to do. So these things just need expanded on. They need more structure. They need more rewards. They need more to do. More content, essentially. So hopefully we can see that happening, and that is on Thursday, the hatching of the hippogriffs. If you are into that kind of thing, again, like I did it one time, and that's probably all I'll ever do it, unless they ever expand it and make more content out of it. Other than that, there's not a ton going on this week in the game. This is the last week of February as we head into March. Coming up next week. Obviously, one big thing that we've been getting is, pretty frequent class updates, including the Retribution Paladin rework. We've been getting updates pretty much every week, a tweak here or there for every class. Obviously, on this channel, I cover the Ret Paladin stuff really closely because that's like a big part of my channel, and I'll continue to do that. I expect to see more changes even this coming week. For Ret Paladin stuff, I'm going to continue to do feedback on it. My last feedback video honestly didn't get that good of reception, in my opinion. I think sometimes I'm a little bit too realistic for some people. I know people were annoyed. I saw some people saying, why are you calling for nerfs? I saw some other stuff. Like, why don't you want to be able to pick every talent? And those are nuanced things. And I could go over those in like their own video or something like that of like why I feel certain ways about things. But like in the feedback video, I'm just going to give my feedback. I really don't care, if you disagree or not. I'm mostly giving a feedback video because I think that there have been times where a Blizzard employee has seen some of my videos about Ret Paladin specifically. And so even if there's a 1% chance that that's true, I would love them to hear my feedback. So that's why I do that. Also, if you have, comments that can contribute to the conversation below, I think that's good too, just in case, again, if there's a 1% chance that a dev is watching any given feedback video or something, they might look at the comments too. And a lot of times some of you guys have really good ideas about abilities and stuff, so I think that helps too, to do that. Obviously you can go to the forums and stuff like that, but I'll continue to give feedback every time they do a new iteration on the PTR. And other than that, I'll be talking more about specific talents, specific abilities. Maybe I'll do a breakdown of why Sanctified Plates is too strong and why it's going to be nerfed. I'm not calling for a nerf. It's just going to be nerfed most likely. If it's not, then we're just really lucky for however long it stays in the game before it's nerfed. So that's where I'm at on that. As far as like my own personal rating stuff goes, I always kind of mention that we're on Broodkeeper now. We've decided to finally extend. We don't extend early. We just keep farming the raid. We're a very casual guild, 6 hours a week, and we are extending starting now on Broodkeeper. We just got to Broodkeeper last week, and so we're on that final push. Another probably realistically, probably like a month and a half, 2 months. And then we'll hopefully have our CE. I would love to get it before 10.07 comes out. That'd be pretty cool to have it that early in the patch. For a casual guild, it's usually pretty good. And we've already got most of our gear because as we've not been extending, we've been reclearing all the time, and we have ample amounts of gear pretty much. So obviously we don't have that end of the raid gear, the higher item level, but we have all not all, but most of the stuff that we would need from the earlier bosses. So that's always good. So definitely looking forward to getting another CE, finishing up the raid. I'm looking forward to 10.0.7. If there's more, there's been a lot. There's so much news. Honestly, I wish I had more time in the day to cover more of the stuff that's coming out in 10.07. I've watched some other people's videos on it, and it's really quite good. Definitely be on the lookout for 10.07. It seems like a pretty good content patch for it being just like this little thrown in patch at the end of like a major content patch, at the end of a season, whatever you want to call it. Seems quite cool in my opinion. So. I'll be looking more into that if I do have enough time randomly. Maybe I'll cover more of that as well. Yeah. Other than that, I'm just looking for more news, more updates, and stuff I normally cover on the channel, and enjoying that as much as I can. So I'm still having a ton of fun. I got into PvP. The one video that I probably know I'm going to make is a PvP video. I think the last PvP video I made was WoW PvP is bad, and that got pretty good reception actually. A lot of people agreeing. I thought that could be a controversial video because there's people that love WoW PvP and they very much defend it. So I've given PvP a little bit of a chance here recently to kind of get a feel of where it's at, and so I might do a video on the PvP in WoW. Once again here, I actually, there's a lot of PvP players that are ret that come in here and they're like, I see what you're talking about for PvP. I don't know if I know there is at least one PvP ret paladin that makes videos, that's like makes good videos, but maybe they're looking just for another source or something. I think there's a very big lack of that because I see PvP people come into the comments a lot and be like, oh man, I understand that for PvE, but what do you think about this for PvP? And usually the answer is just that I don't know. So if you're one of those people and I don't respond to you, it's just because I don't know, really. I might know here soon because I've been PvPing, but yeah. So I think that might be an underserved community. But again, I think I still don't think the PvP is great, but I'll get more into that on the actual video. But I have been going hard. I got my full blue gear, got a few conquest pieces, and I've been grinding that up. It's actually much easier. That's like one bright spot, but yeah. Don't want to get too much into that in this video. That's actually going to be it for this week. As always, I do ask you to please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out so much. And other than that, everybody have a good one.